are doing well. Happy Friday. Welcome back to Cardio Talk. In this episode, while I perform my own cardiorespiratory activity with an emphasis on burning body fat, I want to share with you what I believe is the number one first thing you must do in order to lose fat without cutting calories. Now, this is something many people say you don't have to do, many people do not do, but they suffer when it comes to their own fat loss, and they don't lose nearly the amount of fat loss that they should. They don't lose it as fast, and they certainly don't keep it off. So thank you guys for being here. Of course, I appreciate this. Consider subscribing to this channel that we are trying to grow. Any engagement is helpful. Leave comments, of course, for the algorithm, and I build this channel answering your questions. But today, the number one thing that you should be doing to lose fat faster without cutting calories is exactly what I'm doing right now. It's performing cardio, as we call cardio, and we'll use that pop culture term, and there's a lot of different ways to chop that up, but we'll just say cardio. So for right now, you must perform cardio. Let me explain why. Before you jump out, let me explain this to you. I'm going to make this video quick. Let's say you're eating pretty clean. You're training, you're doing your gym lifts or your CrossFit or your MMA or whatever else it might be. That's fine. But you want to tighten up. You've added some weight. You've gotten a little soft around the midsection. You look okay in clothes, but you know you're feeling a little heavy. The first thing most people will do is they'll start cutting calories. Unfortunately, when you cut calories, you cut nutrients. When you cut nutrients, you lose energy. When you lose energy, you feel horrible and your body does not perform the way that it should. So cutting calories as the first step is the wrong thing to do. You've immediately shot yourself in the foot. What my suggestion is to do, number one, clean up your diet. Stop eating the garbage, but don't cut the calories. I want you to replace the bad food with good food. We call it the health and habit phase, in which we want you eating more high net nutrient foods in the beginning of a total body transformation program. That way, we're flooding your body with all of the vital micronutrients and phytochemicals like magnesium and phosphorus and zinc and the proteins and the carbs and the fats, all the stuff. We want you to have an oversupply in the beginning of your fat loss body transformation program to make sure that we have all the necessary nutrients so your cells can do their jobs appropriately. From there, we start to add cardio. Something as simple as a 10-minute walk has a massive benefit on mitigating your crazy insulin levels just shooting all over the place. Something as simple as a 10-minute walk has been proven to dramatically enhance insulin sensitivity. This is a great thing with regards to fat loss and body composition. Now we will extend this to 20 minutes and 30 minutes. 30 minutes of cardiovascular activity is a massive improvement to your overall fat loss routine. In 30 minutes at low intensities, you can burn anywhere between 300 to 500 calories. We know that 3,500 calories is equated to 1 pound of body fat. Simply including one 30-minute daily low-intensity cardiovascular session can mobilize 1 pound of pure body fat in a single week. Over a year's time, you can lose 52 pounds of body fat without cutting a single calorie. That's insane. That's awesome. It just becomes, I call it, it's the Warren Buffett philosophy of fat loss, right? It's just slow and steady, slow and steady. That's the way to get it done. Now, once we start throwing more advanced protocols of maybe high intensity interval training, we sprinkle that in as we get to maybe week 3 or week 6, once a week, once every 5 days, once every 3 days. We sprinkle that in over time. But in the beginning, I want to point you to Dr. Andrew Huberman. Dr. Andrew Huberman recently validated what I've been saying for the last 2 decades, that fasted cardio at low levels of intensity has a dramatic enhancement to mobilize stubborn body fat. In his recent podcast, The Huberman Lab, Dr. Huberman presented new data that supports exactly what we've been saying, again, for 20 years. This is why fasted cardio is superior to fed cardio because of the interplay of insulin on the alpha and beta receptors of the fat cell. Now also, we will be training later on in the day. You have your opportunity to train fed. So use this one opportunity, your first strike, first thing in the morning, to perform fasted cardio. You're only fasted once in a day, most of us. We haven't eaten, all night while we're sleeping. That's 8 hours. Hopefully you haven't eaten before you went to bed, 9, 10, 11 hours. You have good, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours of a fasted state. So you can just simply go for a walk. Hop on the elliptical like I'm doing right now. Do a spin workout, a Peloton, shadow box, jump rope. I don't care. Move your body in an athletic manner. Now, again, if you want to mobilize stored body fat without cutting calories, without risking breaking down muscle tissue, losing energy, and just basically hating your life, because if you start cutting calories, you'll get to a point very quickly that your metabolism adjusts. What does this mean? Well, studies have shown when you reduce calories, your body will naturally reduce the metabolic rate to match the lower caloric intake. This is something that is built into our DNA. It's a survival mechanism. During times of food droughts in civilization, your metabolism will drop down. Think about a bear going into hibernation. All the body processes slow down as the bear is not eating any more food. Same thing happens with us. As we bring our calories down, our metabolic rate will go down to meet the new calories, which means if you're eating 3,000 calories per day, you drop it down to 2,500, within a few short weeks, your body will adapt to that. The 2,500 calories will no longer be a deficit for you because your internal thermostat has been lowered. So you drop the calories again to 2,000. Your body catches up, drops the metabolic rate again, plateau again. All of a sudden you're like, my God, now 2,000 calories is not a lot of food, by the way. And that's not a lot of food. So all of a sudden you're eating 2,000 calories, you're getting lightheaded, you can't think at work, you're just no fun to be around, you don't laugh at any jokes, your level of patience is gone, you have no energy to train, you're having bad workouts now, you're starting to get injured or hurt or sick because you don't have all the vital nutrients necessary to sustain cellular activity. You've been dropping your calories, causing a deficit, not just in calorie deficit, but a nutrient deficit. So the ideal way to mobilize stored body fat is to keep your calories higher and then start to perform activities such as I'm doing right now once again, low intensity cardio. Low intensity cardio has the benefit of being active recovery for high intensity workouts. So let's say you're doing your CrossFit a couple times a week, or your MMA, or lifting weights, or whatever else that is. You're sore. That hurts. You're beating up the muscle tissue. You're causing all those micro tears. Low intensity cardio has the benefit of helping to expedite the healing and the recovery of your more intense training. So this is actually beneficial to the high intensity work while also not causing any distress to your nervous system. You can do low intensity cardio for 30, 60, 90 minutes or more every single day of the week and fully recover. You can't go to MMA practice every day and fully recover and go hard, or bodyweight squats or kettlebell swings. We've all been there and tried that 2-3 days in a row. You're shot. We can do this every day which is another great way to mobilize body fat and create a caloric deficit through activity. So I'll answer any questions before I jump out of here so I can wrap this up. Do I have anything else to share? No, I just wanted to let you guys know. Now, a lot of people pride themselves on losing weight without doing cardio. Well, that's just stupid. That's just stupid. They're depriving themselves of 500, 1,000, 1,500 calories of high net nutrient foods, dense in micronutrition and phytochemicals that will enhance their cellular activity. That's why people get thyroid issues, they develop maybe really brittle hair, dry skin, dark spots under the eyes, all sorts, cracked nails, all sorts of issues. Because those are usually due to micronutrient deficiencies, because they've been cutting their calories too low. So consider that, guys. Now let me answer any questions for you before I jump out of here. Amir, what's up, Amir? Ramadan is over Sunday, back with 3 weeks of shredded. Right on. Right on. Blessings to you. California, what's up? Lauren, about to restart the program, and I'm excited to get it going again. Lauren, summer shredded, young lady. Let's go. Summer shredded, Lauren. Let's do this. The month of May is your month. Get after it. Ben, what's up, Ben? Good to see you. Michael, yo. Just had the breakfast bowl after a brisk walk, incline on the treadmill, and why? A huge boost from listening to you. I also have the Living Lean and Living Lean cookbook. Bang! Michael, I'm proud of you, my man. Way to get the work in. Chaz, how do you know it's LIS, heart rate? Yes. Typically, what we want to do, we want to keep our heart rate somewhere below 110 beats per minute. Now, towards the end, you might get 115, maybe 120. And if you're not very practiced, you're not very experienced, you might see your heart rate go higher at first as your body gets in better shape. Over time, your heart rate will start to come down. What we like to say is double your resting heart rate. That's a good place to be for LIS. How do you know that? First thing in the morning, when you wake up, before you get out of bed, simply take your pulse. If you have any wearables, Whoop rings, Apple Watches, you can actually see what your resting heart rate is. Whatever your resting heart rate is, you should set a goal to be approximately double. If your resting heart rate's 52, somewhere around 104 will be perfect for you. LIS, low intensity, steady state cardiovascular activity. Joe, Mike, if you do 2 or more rounds of 3 weeks of shredded, do you reset your weight and goals? Yes, we do. Now, typically we do. Well, let me explain that. Good question. And Joe is talking about the online 3 weeks to shredded program at thedolcediet.com. You can go to thedolcediet.com to learn more about it right now, and I will give you a 25% discount with promo code SUMMERSHRED, all one word, if you're interested in getting in amazing shape. But the question is, you go through the 3 weeks to shredded program, you want more, you feel amazing, you've lost the 21 pounds in 21 days, but maybe you have another 10, 15, 20 pounds to lose, like many of us do. What do? 2 different ways to do that. You want to be aggressive, you want to keep going, reset your starting weight and measurements to your brand new body. So the system will be super precise. Or if you're looking to maybe build a little bit more muscle, maintain the muscle, increase energy while still losing body fat, follow the last program. You're not going to gain body fat on 3 weeks to shredded. You will only lose body fat on 3 weeks to shredded. But the question comes, how much muscle are you trying to build? Now, the first round of 3 weeks to shredded is designed to maintain every ounce of muscle you have while just getting scraped out, super shredded. But in time, you might say, hey, listen, I want to start building some muscle or stuffing the shirt, as we said. So in that, I'd say reset to the first program without updating the second body weight adjustment. hopefully that helps. Feel free to ask me any more questions. Michael, I meant to say cookbook 2. I've had the first volume for 5 years, but it's time to truly enjoy it. Right on, Michael. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, guys and gals, I really appreciate you guys being here. If you haven't checked out the new videos that we've posted this week, go and take a look. I just dropped a video on my favorite fat loss stack that literally has steroid-like effects while being totally legal. Even UFC athletes, Olympic athletes, NCAA athletes can take these 2 compounds. By far my favorite. I'm actually taking them right now while performing fasted lists. And also the video we did on the best rep ranges. Did you know the rep range matters based upon the muscle fiber type that you should be targeting during training? And there's 3 specific muscle fiber types. You must know the proper rep range and how to stimulate those muscle fibers for maximum growth, maximum endurance, maximum aesthetics, which is the way we look, and maximum health. Go back and look and watch the last 2 videos that we posted this week. You guys will love those, and they're quick too. Lifting and lists while fasted. I don't like to lift while fasted. Usually, when they've done studies, you will have better workouts, more capable of hitting higher levels of intensity and volume in a fed state. Now, you can have great workouts while fasted. I feel great right now. High intensity workouts, sure, you can do that and feel good and feel accomplished and make improvements. But those improvements will not be comparable to the improvements and the personal records that you will hit while in a fed state, and that matters. Big D, how do you know Sam? Who's Sam? I don't know Sam. Paul, Big Mike, about to hit this elliptical for 30 minutes. Weights in the afternoon. Get it, Paul. Get it, Paul. Amen, my man. Let's get it. So everybody, guys and gals, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you hanging out with me on Cardio Talk. Again, if you haven't, consider subscribing to the channel. Click that little bell for notifications so you know when we do these impromptu lives. We do quite a few of these throughout the week. We just go live and start chatting, share this information, and I always answer questions during these lives. Happy to do so. And just engage. Take part in the channel. This channel is for you. My job is to help you live better longer by providing the most honest, actionable, and evidence-based information that we can. That's what we do. Mike, just G Olivier breakdown. I don't understand what that means. I might be missing the context, or maybe it was a voice dictation typo, which I see quite a bit. G Olivier breakdown, what is that? Sergio Olivier, is that what you mean? My buddy Nick Trigili just did a breakdown on Sergio. I don't think that, because that's bodybuilding, which is outside of what we do. But you should check out my buddy Nick Trigili's bodybuilding and bullshit YouTube channel. It's really funny. Nick's doing such a great job over there. Really, probably my new favorite bodybuilding news channel. Nick Trigili's bodybuilding and bullshit. A little shout out to Nick. Anything else? Any other questions before I jump out of here? I got about 10 more minutes of cardio, and I'm just going to get into the zone as I finish up. Charles Oliveira. Oh. Justin Gaethje. Oh, my bad. You know, that's an interesting fight. I believe Charles to be the more technical of the two. Right? I do believe that. Charles doesn't get the credit he deserves because he had a rocky road in the middle of his career. It looked like he was falling into journeyman territory in his career, where Gaethje's always been a fan favorite. Gaethje's always been fun, but Gaethje's rather reckless, and Khabib really showed Gaethje has a lot of holes in his game. I think Khabib beat Gaethje rather in a dominant fashion. I don't know that Khabib would have beat Charles in the same fashion, but this is a good fight. This is an interesting fight. Again, Charles has more ways to win. Charles is a more skilled fighter. Justin is more devastating. I believe Justin to have, and just judging by their careers, Justin has shown the recklessness creates a lot of risk for his opponents, but also for himself. So I don't typically buy the pay-per-views, any pay-per-views, boxing, MMA. I really don't buy those anymore. I will buy this one because I'm very curious to watch this fight. I think it's going to be a great fight. I don't even know who else is on the card, by the way. I think this is going to be a great fight. And I've actually worked against Charles a few times with Nick Lentz. So I think Nick Lentz, I was working with Nick twice that Nick fought Charles. Paul, is the cardio with Charles has been A1 as of late, and he has been able to weather those storms early on. I like Charles to get the win. I agree. I think Charles should be able to get the win. His submissions, Charles' submissions are awesome. Scary. Like that choke, Charles, man, Justin's got to keep it. I think Justin has to keep it on the feet. I think Charles is a much better submission grappler than Justin. Justin has good dominant positional control, good ground and pound, but I think Charles will tie him up and tap him. Justin's got to keep pressure. He's a pressure fighter, so I think Justin really has to keep the pressure on Charles in order to catch him. Now, Charles has been shown he can get hurt. Charles can get hurt, but Justin has shown he can get submitted, which Khabib had shown us too. So it'll be a good one. Oh, that's right, Chandler versus Ferguson. I go for Chandler. I think Chandler runs through him, actually. I like Tony. I think Tony's a good guy. But I think Tony, I hate to say this, but just judging by the career, you start looking at the records, I think Tony's best years are behind him. And it happens to all of us in all things in life. I think Tony's best years are behind him. I don't think he can handle Chandler's pressure, power, and athleticism at this stage in his career. 5-6 years ago, I probably would have picked Tony to win this fight. All right, guys and gals, fun chatting with you. I appreciate you being here. Remember, go back into the videos and check out the last couple of videos we put out here. I know you're going to love them, specifically with regards to your own fat loss goals. We got more videos coming out this weekend. Keep it tuned in. Until next time.